So today, let me tell you a little bit about the Tablighi Jamaat, the Islamic fundamentalist organization that is being called a super spreader of the coronavirus in Asia. And let me tell you a little bit about why we need to stop defending their actions. My name is Sharma. Welcome to the Sharma Show. Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Sharma Show. Thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you. Now look, before I even get into this video and start talking about the Tablighi Jamaat in a little bit more detail, I think it's important to point out that no culture or religious group is really immune to stupidity during this coronavirus crisis. There are examples also in India of Hindu groups and Hindu leaders doing stupid things during this crisis, which might put others in danger. However, having said that, there is a big difference between what certain Hindu groups have done in terms of their stupidity and what the Tablighi Jamaat is doing and how they are reacting to this coronavirus situation. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit more detail. But first, let me tell you a little bit about what the Tablighi Jamaat is. So the Tablighi Jamaat is an Islamist fundamentalist organization that was created in the 1920s in India to stop the Indianization of the Indian Muslims and to make sure that the Muslims remain Arabized. See, back in the 20s, there were still many Islamic communities that, despite being Muslims, were very deeply connected to their Indic roots and their Indic culture. For instance, the Mayo community of Mewat was a community that was Muslim but still followed many Hindu traditions. For instance, they took the Peras during marriages like the Hindus do. They believed in the Gotra system. They celebrated Holi with the same amount of love and excitement as they celebrated Eid, and they also believed in protecting the cow and respecting the cow. Now that obviously was something that the Islamic leadership could not tolerate. How can that happen? How can an Indian Muslim be connected to his or her Indian cultural roots?
This is blasphemy. This is madness.
How can we celebrate each other's culture? That's impossible. So since following any non-Islamic tradition is considered haram in Islam, the Tablighi Jamaat was then created in the 1920s to make sure that any connection that the Indian Muslims have to their native culture and to their native cultural roots is broken, and that the Indian Muslims are made more radical in terms of their following of Islam. So now this group, this Tablighi Jamaat group, is being termed as a super spreader of the coronavirus in Asia. So a super spreader is a generic term that means someone or a small group will disproportionately infect a large number of people with a virus, in this case, the coronavirus. The super spreader status of the Jamaat was established back in Malaysia, where in February they organized a massive conference from where they're suspected to have spread the coronavirus to 6 different countries, including India. In March, they had also organized a massive gathering of 250,000 people in Pakistan, from where they're suspected to have spread the virus as far as Kyrgyzstan and the Gaza Strip.
Can I tell him our secret? Come here. We're very, very stupid.
Now what's interesting is this is despite the fact that an Islamic country like Iran has banned the congregational prayer, that an Islamic country like Saudi Arabia has closed the Kaaba, the most holy site in all of Islam, due to the fear of coronavirus. But Indian and Pakistani Muslims can't help themselves. They can't stop themselves. Just like many women have these weird daddy issues, similarly the Indian and Pakistani Muslims have these weird daddy issues with the Arabs, that they are always trying so hard to ingratiate themselves to the Arabs, that even though the Arabs will shut down their own religious sites because they actually care about the coronavirus and people not getting the coronavirus, the Indian and the Pakistani Muslims, they can't stop themselves because they have to prove themselves to be worthy of the respect of the Arabs. But the sad thing is that the Arabs will never respect them, and thus the vicious cycle continues. And so right after the Tablighi Jamaat did this massive event of 250,000 people in Pakistan, they did a massive event in New Delhi as well at a mosque in Nizamuddin that was attended by over 2,000 people from various countries in Asia. And now cases have popped up all around India which are directly related to that congregation that took place in that Nizamuddin mosque. And it's important to remember that this lockdown happened after the Delhi government had announced a lockdown on the 16th of March. So investigating this matter, the Union Government of India also found that there were hundreds of preachers that had come from countries like Indonesia that had come on a tourist visa to India but had actually taken part in a religious congregation, which is a clear violation of their tourist visa rules, and so those preachers have now been blacklisted. And so now, despite there being cases all over the country that are directly linked to this Tablighi Jamaat event, still Tablighi Jamaat members that attended the event are not coming out and quarantining themselves and cooperating with the government in quarantining themselves. They're still hiding from the authorities, still putting the public in danger. So only recently, 14 Muslim clerics who attended the Tablighi Jamaat's event held in Nizamuddin were arrested from a Maulana's residence in Meerut. So see, this is a serious public health issue, but they're so blatant in their brazenness at this point as well. A Muslim mob who gathered to offer mass prayer at Jama Masjid in Uttar Pradesh's Kannauj district on Friday pelted stones at the police personnel who went there to prevent them from doing so amid the coronavirus lockdown. Police also recovered a huge pile of stones and bricks stored on the roof of the mosque, which were used to attack the police team. A similar incident was reported from Uttar Pradesh's Aligarh, where a Muslim mob had surrounded the police and hurled stones at them after the police asked them not to offer group namaz in a mosque. Moreover, police personnel were fired upon in Bihar when they went to search for Tablighi Jamaat attendees after Delhi's Nizamuddin emerged as the new hotspot for the deadly Chinese virus. Similarly, a police team was attacked at Ahmedabad Gomtipur area when the police reached there to search for Delhi's Tablighi Jamaatis. Not only that, there have been crazy visuals coming out from India where Muslims have attacked medical workers who have gone in these localities to test people for the coronavirus. There have also been incidents of the quarantine Tablighis that have been attacking hospital staff and spitting at the hospital staff. Some members of the Jamaat who have been quarantined have even been accused of roaming around naked in the hospital wards and spitting and making lewd gestures at the female staff there. And when authorities and journalists are talking to these Jamaatis about taking the coronavirus threat seriously, in Malaysia they're saying that they do not fear the coronavirus. They have faith in Islam. They're making TikTok videos and their leaders are giving sermons about how they do not fear the corona at all.
You idiot. You're honestly an idiot. I don't know what's wrong with you. But your ego is pissing me off.
The most recent tally of cases is 4,000 in India, and 1,445 cases have been directly linked to the Tablighi Jamaat. Cases linked to the Tablighi Jamaat have been found in 14 states across the country: Andaman and Nicobar, Assam, Delhi, Himachal, Haryana, Jammu and Kashmir, Jharkhand, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand. So nearly half the cases of coronavirus in India are directly linked to the Tablighi Jamaat, and they're so blatant that they're not even cooperating in any way with the authorities to stop the spread of this coronavirus. But despite that, there are many people that are coming to the defense of the Tablighi Jamaat, and they're saying that this is some kind of a conspiracy by this Hindu nationalist government to malign the Tablighi Jamaat. In support of the Jamaat, the Muslim students of the JNU uploaded an image on its Facebook page expressing solidarity with the Jamaat and demanding cancellation of the FIR filed against the Jamaat management. In addition, the Jamia Coordination Committee, an unofficial body of Jamia Millia Islamia that was spreading false information during the CAA protest and was heavily involved in organizing these anti-CAA protests in Delhi, also jumped in to defend the criminal acts of the Tablighi Jamaat. Prominent journalists like Arfa Khanum Sherwani of the online portal The Wire said that Tablighis aren't the most progressive people in India. They're very orthodox and rigid. But I refuse to believe that they'll harass doctors and harass women. I know them as selfless individuals who leave the materialistic world behind, even their families, in the service of religion and society. Stop this propaganda against the Tablighi Jamaat.
What's wrong with y'all women? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
And now finally, the Indian government and various state governments have started taking this matter and the problems that the Tablighi Jamaat are causing very seriously. And like I told you, there was a serious difference between the stupidity that various Hindu groups have done and what the Tablighi Jamaat is doing, because every time the authorities have gone to these Hindu groups, they have cooperated with the authorities, they have listened to what the authorities have to say, and they have taken the necessary measures after the stupid things that they have done to prevent those things from happening in the future. The Jamaat, on the other hand, is deliberately hiding its members from the authorities, the members that are already tested positive for the coronavirus or may have the coronavirus. They're also attacking health workers and the authorities that are trying to stop the spread of the coronavirus. So there's a massive difference here. And I'm glad that the government is finally taking strict measures to bring the coronavirus spread under control and to take the Tablighi Jamaat to task. And this is not religious suppression, because even in a country like the United States, which is not a Hindu country by any measure, there are now fines and there are now penalties if anybody or any pastor is getting religious congregations together in different parts of the country. In fact, a pastor was just sent to jail for organizing a religious congregation despite the state government asking people not to do that. So this is not an effort to curb religious freedom. This is an effort to bring a very deadly spread of a very deadly disease under control. And I want to ask you once again, do you think it's fair to be defending the Tablighi Jamaat in this scenario when they're responsible for nearly half the cases of the coronavirus in India and they are actively not cooperating with the authorities to stop the spread of the coronavirus? Let me know your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. Once again, guys, if you liked today's episode, make sure to leave a like, leave a thumbs up. It helps me out. It helps the channel out a great deal. If you like the Sham Sharma Show and if you'd like to support the Sham Sharma Show, make sure to click on the Patreon button in the description down below. Become a patron of the show. You will get the brand new mugs that have now shipped and will be coming out to the patrons very, very soon in the next few weeks. So you will get access to those mugs if you become a patron on Patreon, and you will get access to the WhatsApp and Discord servers of the Sham Sharma Show as well. If you like the Sham Sharma Show, if you like what we do here on the Sham Sharma Show, and if you have not subscribed already, what are you doing? The button's right there. So click on the button and subscribe. Make sure to press the bell icon to get the latest notifications as well. And check out our video here and a video here that I'm sure you like as well. I will see you for the next episode. Until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you guys soon.